I'm Tannen. I operate 5 locations in the Southwest. We opened 2 last year, so we're trying to grow. So we're getting better at our warehousing as we go all the time. We sell $3 million of tires out of this warehouse a year, and then each location sells about another 800,000 to $1 million out of their individual inventories. This warehouse feeds these 2 stores here in Gallup. So what we do is we actually bring all of our bulk tires into here that we import so that we can get better margins on those. We bring them in a container. We'll get several containers a year, and we unload them here, and we get them into our bin system so we know where they're at. Then we take those tires and we feed them out to our remote locations that they only keep 4 or 8 on hand at a time. And we just do that all through a PO system that goes through wholesale. So this kind of operates as its own business, and the other locations make POs and they order stuff from here to fulfill or refill anything that they've sold. The 2 locations here in Gallup, they order on-time delivery, so not so much refilling what they've ordered. As soon as a customer walks in and they need a tire, they request a PO directly from this warehouse, and it's driven right to them to install. We got a tire right over here on the ground. This one's been ordered and staged, so as soon as the van gets back on its little 10-minute circle, it'll take this one out. I know that it seems kind of like a waste of resources. Oh, here's the van right here. I know that seems kind of like a waste of resources, like, well, why not just store them on site and just not have to drive them all over town? There you go. But really what's important, and you can see the used tires coming back, really what's important is we don't have any tires on site. We don't have any junk tires hanging around, because when they drop 4 tires, they take 4 tires. So we don't ever have the scrap tires sitting there. We don't have to fill up the bays with tires. We get to make money in our bays, put lifts in the bays, and put technicians in there fixing cars. This warehouse allows us to feed bulk tires imported out to the other locations, as well as free up the bays at these stores. So all day long we run tires to those locations as they order per customer. And then weekly we send orders out to the remote locations, and then we sell them to ourselves at cost, and then they just pay the bill back to warehouse, which has its own bank account. Yeah, we're spending about $80,000 a year to operate this warehouse location, but we're easily making 4 or 5x that by freeing up the bays on site and not ever having our guys have to handle that inventory on site. Our loss of inventory is almost 0 because we're so organized, as well as we save all that extra difficulty on site of how to organize tires here at these 2 locations. It's been a game changer for us to have bulk tires to get better margins. We order them by container, and then it's so much better to have these off-site to get our bays back at these locations. We were using a legacy software when we had 2 stores. Once we started to grow, we knew that we could help control the business through software. See ya. And there goes another set. If you're growing in multi-site, you've got to get out of the legacy softwares. Hoops and Gears is ultra responsive and has helped us improve our business drastically. Now when we open a new location, I can call them and it's just like flicking a light switch. We're able to take all of our settings and all of our inventory, add it to the new system, and we're ready to do business overnight. We would not have been able to open 2 locations in 1 month last year without having a solid software team that was able to help us with our growth. If you're growing, you need to get a hold of Hoops and Gears. There's a link in the description. They're super responsive, really amazing team. So this is Hoops and Gears. This is their wholesale product. So what this allows us to do is receive the orders in from the stores. It will hit inside of here as a purchase order. Inside the store on their work order, right on the line item from their work order that says create order from warehouse. Then that pops in here. These guys know where to pick it. It hits their tablets for picking. And all of that is integrated between both sets of software. So our retail speaks specifically right to our wholesale software. And once you start doing wholesale, you could actually sell to other tire shops in the area. So all I have to do is give them a login now, and they can see the live inventory, and they would be able to place orders right from it. We should be having that going in the next few months. Now that we've gotten all of our processes down inside the warehouse, we'll open it up for any of the other tire shops that are maybe a little bit smaller, can't hold inventory on hand, I likely wasn't going to get that sell at my locations anyway, so we'll help them make some sales to their customers and get to sell a few more units. So what will happen is they'll get an order into the computers here, and it'll hit the tablet for picking. It'll have the order right here. All they do is click on the tile, and that tells them exactly which bin to go to. So we've got this order in from Route 2, which means store number 2, and it's located in 1913. So we'll find row 19. So we got 24, 23, 22. Here's 19. It's going to be shelf 1 and row 3. Looking for part number 98709. And this is a pick for 2 of these. So in real time, 30 seconds, we've gotten the order, picked it from the shelf. As soon as the van gets done with its route, we'll have it out to them again. So then all we do is print our picking ticket, put it with the tires, and when the van comes back around, they'll have their tires. Just like that, the order's ready to go. The other major benefit to warehouse that you don't really think of is like really simple things. This is our compressor service kit that we keep in the warehouse. We keep some of our bay boxes in case they run out of a specialty oil, lube, hammer, weight hammer rebuilding kits. We label all the stuff for our balancers, duck heads, new wing nuts for the balancers. We import our own TPMS sensors as well. That's been kind of handy. We buy them for about $9 a piece compared to $19 a piece, so we make $10 more, and we sell a couple of thousand of those a year. Work order bags, toilet paper, all of our wheels storage so we can sell more wheels from on hand. This has been a really big benefit. We keep all these lug nuts on hand to feed our stores because that can really throw a wet blanket on a wheel sale when you don't have the right lug nuts on hand or in the right color. So we have all of those stored here in the warehouse. Super nice to have those on hand for any wheel sale going out the door, so we don't have any of those issues. We also carry a whole aisle of leveling kits. So that's kind of nice to have a few lift kits and probably about 50 or 60 leveling kits, so that for most of the trucks, Jeeps, Toyota, Ram, Ford, Chevy, 2000 and up, we carry the leveling kit for it. So if somebody wants it leveled that day, we can put bigger wheels, bigger tires, and a leveling kit all in the same day. So this was an old American Motors dealership, which kind of has a cool automotive history to it. We owned this warehouse, so we came in, we put some paneling on the walls and just put new lighting in it, leveled out the floors a little. Doesn't have to be anything special to hold tires. That's all this thing is doing, holding them in bins. But that allows us to take them off-site and have it here at this warehouse. So really all we did was slap some lipstick on a warehouse that we already owned. It's about 5,000 square feet here. So having the warehouse here was nice. We took this 5,000 square feet, and probably in 2 weeks we brought the crews over, had the welders weld up some racks, and then we just started paneling the walls so that we could make it nice and clean. We got a little bit of work left to do. We got it all relit and put racks on the ground, and now we've got a warehouse. Bought a $10,000 delivery van, and off we were doing wholesale. And we started making relationships with Armstrong Tire, Haida, Mile King Tire to import some of our own container in bulk so that we get better margins. And that's worked out well ever since we've had the warehouse. We're just going to keep expanding from here. If you were going to start doing warehousing, one location, that is your warehouse. Once you get about, well, I guess it depends on how many units you're selling out of that location. So once you get to where you're selling about 2,000 units a month, it makes sense to start having a specific inventory manager, because at that rate, you're going to have a lot of other things on hand, like lube, wheel weights, all those other things that need to be organized so that you can function properly. Once you get to where you're selling over 2,000 units a month, you're getting to the point to where you can start getting containers in as well and get better pricing on your tire. So that would really be a threshold in my mind that we crossed, and we're able to start doing warehousing where it made sense. At some point, you have to pay for the warehouse labor. If you don't own the building, you got to pay to rent it. If you have locations that are close enough and you can logistically work getting the the site to do warehousing on and you're selling over 2,000 units, it's going to really help you get some bays back if you're storing tires in your bays, and help you get some economies to scale in terms of buying inventory at bulk.